Today I'm going to be going over with you guys how I was able to catch 6 risk reward with 2 winners and 1 break even trade on a day, and we had many more actually A plus setups later on in the day with internal swing continuations that I was unfortunately not able to catch because I just ended my session here off this break even. And again, I'll show you guys screenshots of everything as well as me sending the trade idea out to the Discord as well along with my draw and liquidity. So here's a screenshot of earlier in the day where I was telling everyone there's a V-shaped delivery here, and all the members, if you've taken the course or mentorship, you know exactly what I'm talking about whenever I say that there's a V-shaped delivery. Those are high probability conditions where we're looking for a setup in the opposing direction, and I send out the trade here, and as you can see we hit TP for 4 risk reward here. Said I kept a conservative TP personally just because this is indeed counter trend externally, but we did have trendline liquidity below, so you can definitely target that for this first short here. And of course, I sent out all the specific confluences later that I'm not going to show in today's video, but join the group and you'll see all those specific confluences. There were several confluences for this trade, but I'll go over a few of them for today's video. So one of the confluences is, first off, we took out 80 session high, so session liquidity. Second confluence is we took out 80 session high, mitigate this gap here and tapped into a POI, right? So we had those confluences along with a very clear draw on liquidity, which is trendline liquidity. But like I said, since we were counter, I wasn't as confident in targeting that as my TP. And this was a few minutes after open, so to me it met my rules in terms of trading during open. And yeah, so to this trade off the OB entry model, you had IFGs. I explained in the course in depth in the mentorship why I don't take this IFG entry here and wait for the OB entry here. And that was a 4 risk reward trade going short. Now, look, we play ping pong and we ping pong the markets. That's what we do for the most part, and we trade basically towards our draw liquidity using ping pong. So once we sweep this liquidity here, trendline liquidity swept, this low got swept, we tapped into POI. This is an A plus setup here because this is pro trend. Now I decided to take a more aggressive trade here in terms of a stop loss placement. So instead of being this low for a 1-to-1, I took a 1-to-2 here. Very aggressive stop loss. We'll be covering the sell to buy here. But I decided to just keep it aggressive and not very aggressive just because of the fact that, there's still an unmitigated, this is not the extreme OB here, right? So entered off this OB, TP'd at the flip here. My system tells me to go for the high, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Because of how I enter this trade and where my stop loss is placed, it's not ideal to be having higher time frame or further targets. And if you guys know, right? So I also broke even at the 50% towards my trade. That's one of my break-even systems, and so that saved me here. In this case, it didn't really matter actually, but hit my TP for 2 risk reward. Very small trade, basically a scalp, you can call it. Then we had a mitigation of the origin here. Now, if you go in NQ, okay, NQ here had an internal SMT. I explained this actually on live stream today. If you guys checked the YouTube, I did a live stream. It was about an hour and a half of a live stream going through questions, going through these trades, going through setups I saw, and reviewing some members' trades. Giving you guys feedback, proper feedback. We had an SMT internally with NQ, hence why we had this downside move. I took a stop hunter setup here because this is a weak high, like I said. And unfortunately, I broke even when we got very close to the TP. Guess what? Even though price got very close to my TP, I don't change my system. I don't deviate away from my strategy, and it hit my break even. A majority of times, I would leave this since it's an A plus stop hunter setup, but because of that internal SMT, that gave me a little bit less confidence here. So hence why I broke even early here, and it is what it is because guess what? My stop loss here held, and we later hit basically for 2.7 risk reward. Some people held the trade, some people scalped it. It really depends on how you want to P&L manage here. The typical standard TP would be that internal high there for 2.27 risk reward. So if you use that, perfect. You hit a full on TP within like 20 minutes or less, which is ideal. Typically ideal, you don't want to be holding trades for like 2 hours. But this one unfortunately went back to my break even right, and as soon as it did, it ripped to my TP. And that's okay, guys. That's okay. I'm okay with taking that, knowing that basically what I did. Now, of course, you had some continuations off of flip here, right? You had an entry model here, and then you also had a POC entry model here. Like there's 2 A plus setups you could have taken for continuations, and this third setup that I called on live stream when I was live streaming on YouTube. I was literally talking about this setup when I was on live. and how this was a valid stop on our setup. And you can see it went straight up. And if you go back a bit, we took out previous day high here. So I was saying it's lower probability to take continuations once you do take out previous day high, but that was also my draw on liquidity. So if I show you guys this here, and the reason why I'm making this trade recap very short is I do want to make these future trade recaps a lot shorter, because I don't think they should need that much time to go over the reasoning for every trade and such. It's pretty straightforward. My system's, I'd say, it's pretty mechanical, honestly. Like, as long as you follow a checklist, you'll be good in terms of profitability. As long as you follow it to a T and be disciplined, you'll be profitable. And so here, one of my members did take a long here off NQ, which had a better risk reward than my long, but it was the same trade idea, same time. And I just gave him some feedback on that. I said right here, if you guys zoom in here, look at the time, 10:40 a.m. EST. Previous day high is my high time frame draw liquidity on ES. We only have one unmitigated 1 minute PY holding us from that on the far left. And it did help hold for a bit, but we still took out previous day high in ES, right? And like I said, I at least sent the screenshot of the setup here, stop on the setup that I'm currently in. And I said, if we do get a mitigation cycle, there's really no really good PY. So me personally, I'm thinking this has a very high probability hitting because of that reason. So I'm gonna close that out and delete that from the chart now. I went back in time on replay mode to show you guys how my indicator is marking the previous day high here, which is right here. So this was the previous day high, and that was the drawn liquidity. It was very straightforward as our drawn liquidity. You can keep this very mechanical as drawn liquidity, because this is what I was seeing on the higher time frame. We took out lows in a bullish market. Second of all, we had a swing change of character, internal change of character on the 1 hour, but this is a change of character externally on a lower time frame. We tapped into a 1 hour demand and we held this. And where do we go next? To the next high. So very clear, just trend following system, man. It's nothing too complex, nothing too crazy. Once you learn it, you cannot unsee it. That's why I tell everyone about my system. So I personally think it's the best system in the world, that's known on the internet at least, or maybe not fully known on the internet, because I'm still a pretty small YouTube channel, but hoping to grow my channel and you guys can grow it along with me. So again, here's my setups here. I'm going to send one more screenshot from the Discord, because I believe one of our members did take this. So here's a screenshot from our free Discord actually. And I was also giving you the free traders or free members. So this is why you should join the free Discord. There's no cost to you at all to just join for free. Check out what information I got, because I do send trade ideas once in a while to the free Discord to help you guys make some money at least. But I want and highly recommend you guys to take the course in mentorship so you can actually be independent, because there's no guarantee I'm gonna be on the internet for long, right? I'm only here to give my advice, knowledge to people that really are invested in learning, and leave. So I gave my advice here, my draw on liquidity, great volatility. And Tyler here, one of my private mentorship students, he's been in the mentorship. He got it about a year ago, I believe. And he said, thanks, Jay. I scalped the setup for TP, so it did not hit me out at break even, green for a day. And he said, thank you for trade ideas. Helps him create some confidence when it aligns with his trades. Because here's the thing. The reason why I don't do live signals in a sense of what people do, which is copy signals. First of all, I think that's a bad idea, because that builds reliance on someone else for your income. And if you're serious about trading full time and not just gambling, you have to be self-independent. Otherwise, like, who says or who knows I'm gonna be here for the next 20 years or 10 years? There's so much more life to live. You have to be self-independent and know all this knowledge. Hence why it's crucial to be learning it yourself and taking these trades also yourself. Use me as a confluence, but don't use me as a signal bot, right? That's gonna create too much dependence on me. And once I leave, you're done. You're done for. You have no income. So hopefully that makes sense on how you should be viewing trades, my trade ideas, and things of that nature. Now, Tyler said he scalped this, so I assume that means he either TP'd for 1 risk reward, or he just TP'd for 2 risk reward at that internal high there. So great trade there nonetheless. I just got a little bit greedy on my end, but again, this is still within my system parameters and boundaries, and it is what it is, man. It's just probabilities. Price didn't deliver the way I wanted it to, and I managed my risk properly and came out with 6 risk reward, 2 winners, one break even, ending the day with off 100% win rate. And again, I gone through a huge Q&A also. If you're on my YouTube channel, I highly recommend you guys go check out the live stream if you weren't available. I'm gonna try to do this live streams maybe like once a month, check in with everyone that's also not in the group or in the paid group and see how everyone's trading. You know, I want you guys all to be successful and be very independent and full-time traders just like me. That's the ultimate goal of this channel. No flashing anything, nothing fancy, no luxury, none of that. We're here to just deliver you guys pure educational content that I truly believe no one else truly provides on YouTube for free like this. So hope you guys did enjoy this trade recap. I'm thinking if there's anything else I need to cover in today's video. I think that should be it. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on like what I can do for live streams, any cool creative ideas, let me know. I don't want to make this an entertainment channel in a sense. This should be more focused on education, but if making entertaining videos will help bring in people to learn the right information and education, that's something I'm willing to do. So just let me know again if you guys have any ideas for me for future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.